I think I first heard the call to the priesthood very young, probably around middle school. That was when I started altar serving, and something about being on the altar with the priest and being able to help out in however you can, that service just kind of stood out to me. And even from there, like, something that you'll hear in a lot of vocation stories is someone ask you, have you considered the priesthood? And the first time that happened was probably around 7th or 8th grade. Someone just said, you look very comfortable on the altar. That looks like that's where you're supposed to be. And even though I just kind of, as a kid, just kind of was like, oh, that's interesting, that's funny, and then forgot about it for a couple years, that's something that's really stuck with me for a while since then. And I think even after that experience of being on the altar, what's really further cultivated my interest in pursuing the priesthood is youth ministry. I joke oftentimes about how I owe my vocation to my mom forcing me to go to Bible study, because I didn't want to do anything in youth ministry. I had plenty of friends, I played plenty of sports, I had a lot of stuff to do, very important things that a middle schooler has to do. But she said, nope, you're going to a Bible study, even though I already knew all this stuff in the Bible. That was second nature to me at this point. But after forcing me to go, I really fell in love with Scripture and with the other people here at St. Michael in the youth ministry program. And so I found myself very quickly shifting from I don't want to do any of this to I have to do every single thing possible. I would be on as many retreats as I could. I would show up to every Bible study. We even kind of had more Bible studies than we initially planned to because I wanted to keep doing it after middle school. So throughout high school, through youth ministry and retreats is kind of where I learned to pray. Oftentimes I was just kind of stuck praying before meals and at Mass and just prayers that you know, but then youth ministry taught me to really just open myself up and to give myself to God and see what He has in store for me. And then by the time I was done with high school, I just felt like I wasn't ready to stop learning to pray. And I think that's what led me to really just pursue seminary right when I was done with high school, is I just wasn't done yet. I felt like I had more to give to God and He had more to give to me. So I joined seminary, and I think what's been super interesting to me is a lot of people talk about the call or a calling as if it's a singular calling. But I think throughout my 2 years of seminary experience, I found that God doesn't just call and then you answer. It's a constant conversation and a consistent movement towards a vocation. And I think as I've continued through seminary and I've discerned, I found myself growing not only closer and closer to God or growing in knowledge of my vocation, but even just in knowledge of myself and how I operate in the world.